Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Sagittarius July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, first thing off, as far as July goes, the Sun will be in Cancer from the 1st until the 23rd, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on transformation, rebirth, regeneration, shared resources, emotional, monetary, moral support, even death in some cases, insurance, taxes, alimony, astrology, the occult, psychology, psychiatry, and even sexual and intimate relationships at this time. Given this is Cancerian energy, this may be done with a lot of tenacity, care, devotion, dedication, a lot of diligence as well, a lot of protectiveness, a lot of emotional energy as well. Now, given this is the 8th house, in some cases this could shine the light, so to speak, on a Cancerian surgical issue. Could be something with the breast, the chest, or something with the stomach area, perhaps in some cases. And it might shine the light, so to speak, on a temperamental or moody sexual partner, or someone you're in an intimate relationship or shared resources scenario. But sometimes this could be about an eye issue that might require some surgery, or maybe a temperamental, moody eye issue. In some cases, the left or right eye, depending on gender. Next thing up, as far as July goes, the Sun will be in Leo from the 23rd until the 31st, so the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on philosophy, religion, higher education, abstract thinking, in-laws, grandchildren, publishing, traveling abroad, global communications. Sometimes it could be importing, exporting in some cases if you are in that business, especially. Now, given that this is Leo energy, a lot of this could be done with a lot of pride, a lot of dignity, even ferocity, but a lot of loyalty as well, done in a very good-natured way, a lot of generosity, but yet could be done in a rather extravagant manner as well, but with a lot of magnanimous energy, sometimes very extroverted and flamboyant. The extroverted energy, perhaps especially with in-laws, grandchildren, even global communications. And if there's global communications involved, obviously this could be very attention-seeking energy. In some cases, this might shine the light, so to speak, on a rather domineering or bombastic in-law or grandchild, or maybe someone you know at a religious congregation or a college university. Next thing up, well, there will be a new moon solar eclipse in Cancer on July 2nd, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, in some cases, this could be the start of a rather tenacious, rather untiring, persistent transformation. In some cases, too, when you're talking about um, solar eclipses in astrology, this could be the departure, in some cases, of a Cancerian dominant male, which may have played a very strong role, maybe in your shared resources situation, could have been a major change or transformation, maybe benefited you in a crisis situation in some cases. This could also be or maybe somebody that was involved with you in something 8th house related, such as astrology, the occult, supernatural, maybe some insurance situation or company. It could also be a time to, or even or maybe someone you were in an intimate or sexual relationship with. Now, given also too, this could be a time where you might begin to receive and give perhaps sympathetic, emotional, moral support, or even monetary. This could be something. I mean, these things that I'm describing can be very life-altering, especially perhaps a tenacious start of a tenacious and untiring, persistent transformation, especially if you procrastinated on it for some period of time. If you're starting to give some kind of very sympathetic, emotional, moral, monetary support, this could be something that you might be doing for a very sustained period. It might be for somebody that might be playing a very significant role in your life scheme. Uh, This could also be the beginning of a home family transformation or rebirth at this time. It could be a time where you might be actually doing something where you're, for example, expanding your family, or anything where if you haven't had maybe much of a family for some time, it might be starting your own, and it might be a very transforming period for you. Um, this could also be perhaps the beginning. One way this could manifest is perhaps the beginning of showing a lot of dedication, devotion, and diligence to something eighth house related, such as astrology, the occult, supernatural, some major change or transformation, maybe dealing with a crisis, something connected with psychology or psychiatry. Um, it could be doing something connected with an investigation or digging deep. It could be over maybe an inheritance in some cases that maybe you're trying to find out something about. This could also, at this time, maybe it may manifest in leaving perhaps a Cancerian legacy at this time and beginning to leave that, such as being very nurturing, compassionate, sympathetic, being the rescuer, a person that is very dedicated, devoted, and diligent and protective as well. Anyway, next thing up, there will be a full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn on July 16th, so the second house as well will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. As I've stated before, in talking about eclipses, this could be about the departure of someone. In this case, given a lunar eclipse, this could be about the departure of a dominant Capricorn female that might have figured prominently in your self-worth, your self-esteem, monetary matters, possessions, resources, income. Also, too, it could be a Capricorn Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Capricorn traits. In some cases, too, this could be a self-revelation, perhaps of maybe there was some kind of limitation or restriction, something monetary that where this is a self-revelation that maybe this was something connected with self-sabotage, that maybe you were your own worst enemy in terms of an inhibiting monetary possession situation at this time, maybe attributed to being overly pessimistic or negative. Now, it might also be a revelation that maybe being overly pessimistic or negative might have been impacting your self-esteem and self-worth, that this falls maybe on you, and it might be a very life-altering thing where you might make a change in regards to this. Now, in some cases, too, this could be about the completion or culmination of a Capricorn monetary situation, such as something with dentistry, accounting, information technology, even mundane work, dentistry, something perhaps with business or politics or government work. Now, when you're talking about full moons and lunar eclipses would be more magnified generally, this could be a time where you might become very tired, full, exasperated. Perhaps it may be somebody that might have been very despondent, negative, even tyrannical, depressed, very pessimistic, and it might have been impacting how you feel about yourself and your self-worth. And it could be a very life-altering thing, because you might decide to get rid of this person at this time, or really speak your piece about it, and maybe it leads to the end of this transpiring. In some cases, this could be about the end of some Capricorn like buying and selling situations, such as something that might have been very consistent. It could just been something associated with information technology, or something with, maybe it's something with dentistry or dental products, anything that could be Capricorn related business items. Anyway. Next thing up, Mercury will be in Leo as far as July goes, from the 1st until the 19th. So the 9th house as well be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, this could be about manifest perhaps in boasting and bragging, perhaps with in-laws and grandchildren, or talking about your achievements that were college related, or things you've done at a religious congregation or university. This could also manifest perhaps in dominating conversations at this time, perhaps with perhaps those in-laws, grandchildren, people you know at a college, university, or religious congregation, maybe with foreigners. And as I've spoken about previously, Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Leo traits that might be at this time that might be playing a role perhaps strongly in your philosophy, your religion, your higher education, maybe traveling abroad, and also thinking with a lot of self-assuredness and confidence regarding ninth house matters. But when you look at Merlin Leo energy, sometimes this could be about trying to sound smarter than you actually are. So guard against doing this with ninth house people at this time. This could also manifest in creative writing that you're going to get published, or writing about Leo related things that will ultimately get published, such as things with cardiology, entertainment, children, things of a creative nature, something with sports or golf, anything that could be Leo related. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, next thing up. Well, Mercury will be in Cancer as far as July goes, from the 19th until the 31st. It will be retrograde, and the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, you might find yourself lamenting, brooding, maybe about a past inheritance situation that might have not gone right, or maybe a crisis situation, or somebody maybe in an intimate or sexual relationship might have done you wrong. You might find yourself at this time reviewing perhaps about leaving a Cancerian type legacy, such as having sympathetic tendencies, or being nurturing, empathetic, protective, caring person that could be very someone that could really maybe someone that's very sensitive to things and to the needs of others perhaps, but also too in someone that has some certain tenacity. And also you might find yourself embroiled in emotional communications with 8th house people, such as people you might be in a shared resources situation with, an intimate or sexual partner, somebody you might be doing maybe taxes with, or it could be somebody that maybe might be in another eighth house profession, such as astrology or supernatural, the occult. You might find yourself maybe more sensitive to criticism, ridicule. It could be regarding a sexual performance in some cases, or maybe in matters in dealing with a crisis or making a major change or transformation in your life. As I've stated before, Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Cancerian traits that might play a role perhaps in a crisis situation, moral, emotional, monetary support, making a major change or transformation, maybe helping you deal with a death perhaps in some isolated cases. Maybe if there's any psychological issues, they might be figuring prominently in that in some cases. But you might find yourself also talking about past hurts over 8th house related matters as well, so guard against that. Next thing up. Well, Venus will be in Gemini as far as July goes, from the 1st until the 3rd, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this point in time, if you're unattached Sagittarius, you may connect with the Gemini Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Gemini characteristics. It could lead to a significant other situation, perhaps marriage in some cases. It could be in some cases where a Gemini relationship, someone you're in a connection with that might be a Gemini Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or embodies those traits, might turn out to be an open adversary or legal opponent. Now, it could also manifest in valuing eloquence, loquaciousness, cheerfulness, dexterity, vivacious energy, versatility, variety in your relationships in general, with a grandmother, with somebody you're in a significant other situation with. Could also manifest in spending money as fast as you're earning it, perhaps on legal matters or lawsuits on a significant other, a grandmother. This could also be about the enjoyment of Gemini type competition, cerebral competition with others, such as playing like Haiku or Tetris, playing Scrabble, brain teasers, but just be careful that this doesn't manifest in enjoying vicariousness in 7th house matters and doing things where you're living out the experience through somebody else. That could be 7th house related, such as marriage or situations with relationships or dealing with open adversaries. Last but not least, Venus will be in Cancer as far as July goes, from the 3rd until the 18th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, this could be about a Cancerian relationship you might get involved in that's very deep and non-superficial. It could be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Cancerian traits. It could be somebody that helps you out, maybe in a crisis situation. Is very, it might be very beneficial in terms of moral, emotional, and monetary support. You might also find yourself spending on safety and security, perhaps in matters, perhaps in a shared resources situation, or maybe or maybe if you're involved in somebody in a sexual or intimate relationship on that person, perhaps. Sometimes this could be about receiving money from a family inheritance or something that's home related. You might spend money on a home transformation at this time. And also this could be about valuing tenacity, diligence, dedication, devotion, even unequivocal love in an intimate or sexual relationship, or someone you're in a shared resources situation with at this time. And also could be about valuing sympathetic and emotional support at this time as well. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Sagittarius July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Stay tuned next time. I'll be giving you my Sagittarius July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Two things I want to get to on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, a person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.